And you want to talk about something that we don't talk enough about, and it goes in and out of our view. How about the opioid crisis in America? And we've talked about that a few times here on Unsafe Spaces. 64,000 in 2016. They haven't released a number from 2017 yet. That's how efficient our government is. It takes them more than a quarter to figure this out. But that's 175 deaths a day, 64,000. 175. Where's the outrage there? Where's the outrage when you look at these 12 states? They have more painkiller prescriptions than they have people. Michigan's in there. Ohio is in there. Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana. I mean, these are large states, more prescriptions than people. And there's plenty of maps and whatnot to look at when it comes to various studies and what kinds of opioids, what kinds of painkillers. The bottom line is they're way too accessible. Way too accessible. I know on these maps, Georgia in the lower right there, just above Florida, for those of you that are geographically challenged, Georgia, as far as a nexus point, is gigantic in the whole opioid crisis and the amount of drugs that moves through this state. We've got to find out something to do about this. Now, I've talked to Jamie Dukes with Drip Fusion. I've talked to a lot of various people here on this podcast about this particular issue, and we'll talk about this with Antonio Sabato Jr. also, because this is one of the issues that's extremely close to his heart.
Well, U.S. President Donald Trump says this can be the generation to end the country's opioid epidemic. On Thursday, he declared the opioid crisis a public health emergency. In this neighborhood on the outskirts of Atlanta in America's South, a dark sorrow shared by two families. At 6:09 a.m. on May 26, paramedics called to this house. Dustin Manning was found dead. Less than an hour later, 800 meters that way, the same situation. Joe Abraham found dead on the floor. Two teenagers, childhood friends, both victims of the opioid crisis.
Yeah, and this community is Lawrenceville, Georgia, just north of here in Alpharetta. And this is something that's not new. I mean, my son is 27 years old. He's had friends that died because of this opioid crisis. My youngest daughter, had friends that have OD'd from heroin while they were in college. I mean, this is something that has been around for a long time, and no one does squat about it. Nothing. And that's got to come to a screaming halt like now.